Hi, I'm Alec Delancey, your educational psychologist, and today I want to talk to you about techniques to help you increase a specific behavior or to help someone else to increase in a specific positive behavior. Now, the question is, how do I do this? How do I actually get myself to develop more and more a specific behavior that will do me well, that will contribute to my success, that will help me to focus on a specific task to get it done? How do I actually get myself to sit down, to reflect, to complete a specific assignment in school or on my job? How do I do that? So, how do I become better? Now, the interesting thing is that we may ask ourselves that question, how do I become better? But we may also ask ourselves, if we are teachers or a lecturer or professor, how do I motivate my students to complete a school assignment? Now, we may be really good at what we do, and I mean, we are professionals in our field. But when it comes to our students, we ask ourselves, how do I get my student to actually perform better at this task, to complete assignments, to be able to memorize specific things, or be able to learn specific pieces of content? How do I actually get them motivated? How do I get them to be focused, to be more productive, to stick to a task? We may also be a supervisor of a company, and we're asking ourselves, how do I get my employees to focus, to be more productive, to be better, to increase outputs? How do I actually do that? How do I help them to be more passionate about their job? So we can look at it from many different perspectives, but I think we will do well to look at it from a behavioral perspective. Now, there are a number of things we can do, but I think what can definitely work in a situation to help a person to develop a specific behavior, to help yourself to develop a specific behavior, has to do with reinforcers. It has to do with reinforcers. Now, you may be asking yourself a question such as, what is a reinforcer? What can I use as a reinforcer? Now, a reinforcer could be stated like this: it is something used as a reward or the removal of something that can cause irritation, and that is in an effort to actually increase the frequency of a specific behavior. So you can reward yourself, you can reward your students, or you can reward your employees. Now, the interesting thing is, sometimes a person may say, well, you know what, rewards don't work. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. The question is it that a reward does not work, or is it that we choose the wrong type of reward when we're thinking about rewarding someone else, maybe a student or employee, or maybe the things that we think we should be getting as rewards to increase a specific behavior? Is it really something we find of interest? Is it something we find of value? Does it bring pleasure to us? Now, this is a question we have to ask, because we may know of persons who reward themselves with a vacation, or we may know of a person who rewards themselves with ice cream or cake. We may know of persons who reward their employees or their students with tangible things. In the case of the students, it may be they get a opportunity to probably get some stationaries, or they get some opportunity to actually get a ticket to see some kind of show, and that can be something that they find of value, or brings something that brings them some pleasure. And we tell ourselves that may work for all students, or we may do something similar for our employees. We give them some vouchers to go and get a massage, or to get their nails done, or a haircut, or something like that. And it may be valuable to some of the employees, but it may not be as valuable to other employees. So, what is critical is that we have to think in terms of, what are some of the reinforcers that we are using, and whether or not in every situation it can actually contribute to a behavior or frequency of a behavior increasing. Now, there's difficulties there because how do we do that? It means that in order for one person to do a specific task again and again, or to increase the frequency, then the specific reinforcer has to be something that acts as a motivation to them. So for one person, a specific reinforcer will have them repeat the behavior you want, but for another person, it may actually do little. A matter of fact, in some situation, you may have the reverse, in that instead of the person actually doing more of a behavior, they start doing less because the very same thing that we think is a reinforcer actually acting as an irritant to them and brings them some displeasure, or they find it demeaning, or they may find it of less value. So it's really that juggling act if you're a teacher or if you're an employer or for your own self to increase specific behaviors. It's a juggling act to find out what might actually act as a reinforcer to motivate a person to engage in a specific task again and again. So it means a lot of reflection has to go into this. You have to think about exactly what may work and modify it from time to time because not every time you will get it correct. Or sometimes a specific reinforcer may work at one occasion. So it may be that you give someone some time off. And for other students or other employees, giving time off on a project that they really enjoy can actually become irritant. It breaking their flow, as it were. So I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to like. You can comment. Of course, you may not agree with everything that was said in this video. Feel free to put your views and your opinions, and we can have a discussion on it. So until then, take care.